What's up guys, Enchanted Reefs here, and in today's episode I'm bringing you the 1 month update of the innovative marine 10-gallon reef tank. There's been a lot of changes that have happened since the last update. There's been some ups, some downs, and there's definitely a lot more changes to come soon. So the first big difference that you may notice in the aquarium is that there are fish. I have gotten 2 clownfish from my local reef store. I'm not really sure what the names were, but I just picked them out because of their pattern and their colors. So hopefully I can name them, or if you guys want, you can drop some names below and I'll be choosing some of those in one of the future videos. Some of the other changes that have happened in this aquarium are that I have seen a lot of algae bloom. There's been a lot of algae growth on the glass as well as on the rocks. I know this aquarium's still fairly young. I did use some live rock I had curing for about 2 months, but I believe with the introduction of the fish and the new corals and me spot feeding them, and that created a whole bunch of leftover detritus, and that pretty much created a good supply for the algae to bloom. So in order to get rid of the algae, what I'll be doing is I'll stop feeding so much. I'll cut down on the feeding as well as the spot feeding on the corals. Hopefully this will eliminate a lot of the waste and decrease the food supply for the algae. And switching from that, we'll go ahead and talk to you guys about the corals and what corals I've gotten and what corals I've switched from my main display tank. So the first coral that I switched from my main display tank was this frog spawn. The only reason I switched it to this smaller setup was because I got the clownfish, and I was hoping that my clownfish would host the frog spawn since I don't have an enemy, and hopefully it grows. And the next coral that I got was this frog spawn from a local reefer. And it's a funny story actually, because I went to his house to pick it up and I thought it was a white frog spawn, but it just turned out that it wasn't getting enough light, so it just kind of got bleached out. But no worries, it's slowly getting its color back, and I don't really mind the frog spawns. I could trade them later on, maybe for another coral, maybe a hammer, something like that. And the next one is this stony coral. I actually got this one from my brother. He said it wasn't doing too well in his aquarium, so he gave it to me. Hopefully I could bring it back to life. I'll be spot feeding it, and hopefully that helps it out a bit, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. And then the next one was this other coral that he gave me as well that wasn't doing too great. I know right now it just looks like a piece of rock, but I know it's supposed to be a Lobo or an Acan. It's supposed to be purple, orange, green, and I believe some red, but it's not doing too great right now. But we'll see what I can do, and I'll keep you guys posted. You guys can always follow me on Instagram. I'll drop it below. I'll put it on the screen here in a bit, so you guys can always stay updated with what's going on in the aquarium. And then the next coral that I added to this setup was this chalice. I'm not really exactly sure if it's a chalice or not, but it's very blue. I like this, so I just picked it up. This is actually going to be going in my main display tank, but I didn't want to add it directly in there just to prevent any parasites or anything like that getting in my main display tank. But hopefully soon I can get it in there. And what else? What other corals do I have? Let's see. And coral that I'm actually really excited for is this fire and ice zoanthid that I got from a reefer here locally. He actually gave me like 10 to 15 heads for only $10. And that's actually pretty good, I believe. I really like this zoanthid. I've been looking for it for a while, and I finally got my hands on it. It really pops out under the Kessel 880. I also fragged it and put it on this small little plug, hoping to create more zoanthids that I could probably trade for some other corals. Usually I trade my usually I trade my zoanthids whenever they get around 10 to 15 heads, just because typically people are looking for zoanthids with a lot more heads than just single polyps. And I believe that's everything that I got and everything that's been updated on the aquarium. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, follow me on my social medias, they'll be posted below. And I'll see you guys next time.